Cascading style sheets. CSS styles are given in cascading order. The inline CSS is given in the highest priority. This internal CSS is the next highest. External CSS is below internal, and browser defaults are given the lowest priority out of them all. Cascading, last rule, specificity, and important. Last rule, whatever was declared last wins. Specificity, applied to the element closest to the content, the most specific selector wins. Important, when this rule is applied in a style declaration, it overrides any other declarations. Here is an example of last rule specificity. CSS can be inline, internal, or external. Inline, the CSS code is included in the HTML tag. In the inline is specific to the tag itself. The inline style uses the HTML style attribute to style a specific tag. Internal. The CSS code is placed in CSS tags at the beginning of each of the HTML file. An internal style sheet holds the CSS code for the web page in the head section of the particular file. This makes it easy to apply styles like classes or IDs in order to reuse the code. External. The CSS code is placed in a separate file. Only external CSS can do this. External CSS can style multiple HTML pages. Author specifies the style sheets for a source document corresponding to the conventions of the document's language. The author specifies style sheets for a source document according to the conventions of the document language. For instance, in HTML, style sheets may be included in the document or linked externally. The user may be able to specify style information for a particular document. For example, the user may specify a file that contains a style sheet, or the user agent may provide an interface that generates a user style sheet or behave as if it did. User agent. Compliant user agents have to apply a default style sheet preceding all other style sheets for a document. This should also present the elements of the document's language. Conforming user agents must apply a default style sheet, or behave as if they did, prior to all other style sheets for a document. A user agent's default style sheet should present the elements of the document language in ways that satisfy general presentation expectations for the document language. For example, for visual browsers, the EM element in HTML is presented using an italic font. Benefits, things that do and don't inherit, and forcing inheritance. The benefits of inheritance are: it reduces redundancy of author effort and storage space because a rule only needs to be declared once for multiple nodes of a document tree. Beyond this, only exceptions to the inherited styles need to be given to override these rules. When a document's structure will be ambiguous, as is possible in XML markup languages, inheritance will often be the author's best tool to control rendering and complex documentations. Again, inheritance is often the author's best tool to control rendering complex documents. CSS inheritance works on a property-by-property basis. When applied to an element in a document, a property with the value inherit will use the same value as the parent element has for that property. You cannot force elements to not inherit parent styles / break CSS inheritance. Things that do and don't inherit. All elements in a HTML document will inherit all inheritable properties from the parent, except from the room element, which can't because it does not have a parent. Forcing inheritance. You cannot force elements to not inherit parent styles or break CSS inheritance, but what you can try is to circumvent it by following the rules of CSS specificity. This is an example of inheritance, and as you can see by showing in the HTML, this is a perfect example of inheritance. This example will force all paragraphs to inherit all background properties from their parents. References. Russ Weekly, 2014, Origin and Importance in the CSS Cascade, Inheritance in Cascade, W3C, CSS How-To, and Specificity 2016. That is the end of the PowerPoint. Any questions?